She found me in a barren land, short of breath and long of tooth. This is where it all began, where she helped me make a move. I was taken by her hand. I was smitten with her truth. So much I did not understand. Surely, heaven's sayer of sooth. I soon became her biggest fan as I felt the ties come loose. But there was this specter, and at times I'd run much like a youth. With each month, the less I ran, and the more she withdrew. Where I started do I stand, a tryst or two, and hollow through. What greater words can hear a man than I was made for you? That we have something other than. Deep down, I knew it was only new. She would represent for me the epitome of the one-way mirror. She could see out words brilliantly in regards especially to other people. But she could not see herself. The dichotomy? Is that the word to use? Just the one-wayness of it. How can one with that intellect, that presence of being, more than intellect, that sentience, that presence of being so in tune to the emotions of others, have no ability to control their own? Really? That's what it came down to. Just I keep coming to that backward fancy dichotomy or whatever, the mutually exclusive terms somehow. Lest I fall on irony's sword here. I remember watching a movie on one of their TV stations, Lifetime, LTM, or whatever, LTN, Lifetime, LN, whatever the hell, Lifetime Television Network, LTN, for women. I believe it was based on a true story. I've Googled this thing to try to find it, because it's haunted me. It's left me, and it haunts me now more as I age and see God's desires and see my desires less. I am grateful. I hope that there's an ounce of truth in what I just spoke. I pray. So I'm watching this movie, and it's like World War II setting. I ain't gotta tell you, Cindy, she all up in that. This girl's transfixed. Because see, that's how y'all get your drama. I've talked about it before. That's how y'all get, as a rule, we speak in generalities. At Mr. Wonderful's table, we speak in generalities, try to. As a rule, that's how you get your drama. It's internal, it's emotional. Okay, I get it, dig it, beautiful, no worries. She's transfixed to this movie, though, let me tell you. An English woman meets an American GI, a married English woman meets an American GI, and they have a tryst. It just happens. And it does. It just happens. Does that make it right? Does it make it wrong? It just happens. You can sort that out in your own heart. Well, it's found out. Somehow it's always found out, isn't it? And I guess the worst case scenario is on the rare occasion when it's not found out. And this GI finds himself in a military court. Who has brought charges against him? Who do you think that might be? The husband who has clout. Has pull, has something. This guy has something. Apparently this American GI, it's redundant. This government issue picked the wrong English lady to have a tryst with, a brief affair. Why would a man come after another man with such vengeance? If it were my wife, would I not sit down with her first and talk about things with my wife first? Should I not? Before I air the dirty laundry? Maybe he did. Maybe it was a formality. He sat down at the table with his wife and they discussed it. Appearances, you know, images, everything, right? And then after, I guess, going through the formalities of listening to his wife's side of the story, or however it played out, he went after this man. The husband was obviously bruised. This man was going to pay for sleeping with his wife. Never mind that it was consensual. And when the defendant leapt forward from his chair as he saw the walls closing in, burst out in the courtroom and said, "Maggie, they're going to hang me." Maggie, perhaps out of fear, I'm certain out of fear of her husband's wrath, fear of the embarrassment. Because if they can paint this man as a rapist, all is well. In their world, it certainly won't be in his. He leaps forward and he says, Maggie, they're going to hang me. And she remains silent. And when he was asked if there were any final words before they dropped the floor out from under him and hung him, they asked him if he had any final last words. And he said, no. Bully! Bully! Bully, I say! Shed your dust from your sandals from this fucking place. This God-forsaken place. This hellhole. Oh, did I mention the GI was a black man and every fucking body else in this story is white? Did I mention that? No, I didn't. I withheld that from you, didn't I? Much like the lawyer, help me, God, A Time to Kill, when he sets the jury up just the way I did you. And he says, now I want you to imagine that little girl as being white. The devil's spyglass. The TV set, I refer to it as the devil's spyglass. Sometimes, sometimes it misfires. And it shows you the absolute truth of man and Satan working hand in hand.